Hey guys, I'm going to make this another one-take video. I have my timer here set for 4 minutes so I don't end up rambling on into infinity. So here we go, set for 4 minutes. Alright, it's going, it's counting down. In my last video, I talked about how I was going to my first Toastmasters meeting. Now, if you don't know what a Toastmasters meeting is, it's basically an organization or a group of people that come together and they help each other with their public speaking. They help each other develop public speaking skills, and you get to go in front of your, your group and present speeches, and they help you by critiquing you and helping you along. They give you the good points, they give you the bad points, etc., etc. And last week was my very first time going to a Toastmasters meeting, so I didn't really know exactly what to expect. I was a little bit nervous going in, not super nervous, but I kind of expected the Toastmasters meeting to be kind of like all business professionals, kind of like well-dressed, like very on top of their game, and I thought it would be a really good environment to learn. So when I went in, it wasn't quite what I expected. It was a lot more casual, just like a few people just kind of like coming in, and what I found kind of encouraging in a way was a couple of the people who went up and did their speeches. They weren't as good as I thought they were going to be. They weren't bad by any means, but I felt at the same time that I could have went up there and did just as good of a I'm not even speaking right. Maybe I can't do just as good of a job if I'm speaking like that when I go up. Jeez. I thought when I was watching them, they were fumbly a bit. They didn't have the best or some of them didn't have the best delivery. Some of them seemed nervous. Some of them stumbled over words and didn't have the best body language, etc., etc. So, I mean, to me that was kind of encouraging, like realizing that this group of people weren't made up of a bunch of perfect or really, really, really good public speakers. It was kind of like a mixed bag of people at different levels, which was really encouraging. And I actually, at the end of the first meeting, I volunteered to do my first speech at the very next meeting. So I decided I want to get as much out of this experience as possible, so I might as well, I mean, I have 2 weeks to write a speech, I might as well do it for the next meeting. So I volunteered for the next meeting, and so for my first speech, I have to write what's called an icebreaker speech. And that's basically just a speech where I talk about myself. So I'm just going to be talking about the fact that I am passionate about music, and how my brothers are all musicians as well. I have 4 brothers, if you didn't know that. I play guitar and bass, and I've been playing for about 10 years. My second youngest brother, he's 22 right now. He's a drummer, and right now he's a DJ. He's been making a lot of music, electronic type of music, and has DJ'd in front of crowds and has put on concerts before. My brother under that, well, that's 4 minutes already, so I better hurry up. My brother under that, 15, Ryan. I think he's 15. I can't remember ages. 15 or 16. Pretty sure he's 15. He plays guitar and piano, and he has played in front of crowds as well. I mean, frig, my brother, who's 10 years younger than me, has been more successful with music than I have, because I haven't really played much in front of crowds. And my brother under that, Jonathan, who's 13, he plays drums, and he plays drums and jams with my other brother Ryan a lot. And so when they played together in front of the audience. They played together as a band. They had a couple friends who were also the bassist and the singer or whatever. So they're already playing in shows, and they practice every single day. So they're going to be wicked when they grow up. They are already really good at what they do because they practice like every single day or multiple times a week, and they jam with each other. And my youngest brother, Thomas, who would be, I guess, 10 or 11, around that age, plays piano and he sings. He's been singing in the choir. I remember when he was younger, he'd sing in rock band. And it was funny, like, one of my brothers who played drums in rock band, he plays drums. My brother who sang in rock band, he now sings in a choir. And my brother who played guitar on Rock Band now plays guitar, which I figured is what would happen because my brother who played drums on Rock Band was really good at the drums on Rock Band, and he was always tapping his legs and making beats, and I kept telling my parents over and over and over again, like, buy that kid a set of drums. Like, let this kid play drums. And, well, it worked out because my second, I guess, like, my 22-year-old brother, he plays drums. And he had them for a while, I think, when he went off to university. And so, anyway, now he plays it. Anyway, I don't want to get too off track because, obviously, my timer went off and I'm probably almost 8 minutes into this video now. So, yeah, I'm just going to be talking about myself, how I like music. I'm going to talk about my work a bit. I work at a company called Radian 6, which is part of Salesforce. It's a big social media company. And I think I'll talk about something else, like why I like Toastmasters. And I might talk about how I make videos for YouTube and the fact that I love learning about psychology, which, by the way, if I didn't tell you about this in my last video, you know how I said I was going to make 10 videos at a time, all specifically about something? Well, they're focused on more psychology, self-help, like overcoming fears, overcoming cravings or addictions, kind of like the ability to come up with a vision of what you want in life and taking steps towards what you want in life. So it's kind of like I'm really interested lately into psychology, specifically the field of life coaching. I've been watching a lot of different, I guess, online courses on life coaching. I've been watching a lot of life coaches themselves. Like lately I've been watching a lot of Tony Robbins stuff. If you don't know who he is, check out his stuff. It's great. So anyway, man, I want to talk about Tony Robbins now. Okay, quick thing about Tony Robbins. I saw him do this 1 hour intervention with this lady who's over 300 pounds, like 350 pounds or something like that. 1 year later, he met with her and she lost 230 pounds and was like skinny. I saw another intervention where it was about an hour and a half about this guy who had this big business. It completely crumbled. He owed, like, people invested in him, so he lost a crap load of money, but not only his own money, he lost all of his family's money. He completely lost his identity, his purpose for life. His world just crumbled all around him, and he was contemplating suicide all the time because he felt like that was a solution to his problem, and he was seriously considering it. And by the end of this intervention, like it wasn't like he just talked him out of it. He did like a lot of psychological tools, reframing of the way this guy's seeing things. And by the end of it, he felt like he had a sense of purpose and light again, and he met with this guy like a year later. And not only was he just not suicidal, he was thriving again in his life and rebuilt like $100,000 company. He worked with over 1,000 suicide like victims or people trying to contemplate suicide or attempted suicide, and worked with the people who were suicidal or had really suicidal thoughts, and has not lost one single person, which over like 1,000 of these people, and several others, just because he understands the psychological needs of humans. I've read like his books before, and I've gotten over a lot of things. Like I've had like problems with self-esteem and depression in my past, and like listening to a lot of the stuff he has to say and understanding myself and how the mind works. I mean, like, I'm in a completely different place in my life than I used to be, and that's kind of what's inspiring me to do this type of thing. If one person is able to make that much of an influence on other people's lives, and that's kind of what I want to do with this channel, is help other people. I like study psychology and self-help type of stuff every day, almost at least 10 hours a week, so I know a lot. And I feel like I know all of this stuff that has helped me. Why wouldn't I help other people? And I have a perfect channel or a perfect outlet to do so. So that's where I'm kind of going with this channel. And this video ended up being probably like 15 minutes, I can't even tell, because my camera's broken and I can't see what the timer is. Alright, I'm going to wrap this up now. Bye.